Hello and welcome to Hindustani Classical Music, where we explore the rich and diverse musical traditions of India. In this video, we are going to learn about Taal, one of the most important concepts in Indian music. Taal is the rhythmic framework that organizes the beats and accents of a musical piece. It is not just a simple pattern of beats, but a complex and dynamic system that can create various moods and expressions. So, let's dive into the fascinating world of Taal and discover its beauty and diversity. Before we begin, let me ask you a question. How do you clap your hands when you listen to music? Do you clap randomly or do you follow a certain pattern? If you follow a pattern, then you are already familiar with the concept of Taal. Taal is basically a cycle of beats that repeats itself throughout a musical piece. Each cycle is divided into smaller units called matras or counts. The first beat of each cycle is called sam or sum, and it is usually emphasized by the musicians and the listeners. The sam is also the point where different cycles can meet and synchronize. For example, let's take a simple taal called dadra, which has 6 beats in one cycle. We can clap along with this taal like this: clap, 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 tap, tap, tap. The first clap is the sam and the other 5 are the matras. We can also count them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if we play another taal called keherwa, which has 8 beats in one cycle, we can clap like this: clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap. The first clap is again the sam and the other 7 are the matras. We can also count them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if we want to synchronize these two taals, we can do so by aligning their sam points. For example, if we start dadra from the first beat and keherwa from the 5th beat, they will meet at the sam point after every 24 beats. This is how it will sound like: clap, 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 tap, 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 clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, 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 tap, 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 clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap. Did you notice how these two taals create different effects when played together? Dadra sounds more lively and playful, while keherwa sounds more steady and serious. This is because each taal has its own character and mood, which depends on various factors such as the number of beats, the distribution of accents, the tempo, and the style of playing. There are hundreds of different taals in Indian music, each with its own name and structure. Some of them are very common and popular, such as Teen Taal, 16 beats, Jhap Taal, 10 beats, Rupak, 7 beats, Ek Taal, 12 beats, etc. Some of them are very rare and complex, such as Dhamar, 14 beats, Jhumra, 14 beats, Tilwara, 16 beats, etc. One of the most amazing things about Taal is that it can be played on various instruments and even with vocal sounds. The most common instrument for playing Taal is the tabla, which is a pair of drums that produce different sounds depending on how they are struck. The tabla player can create various patterns and variations within the Taal by using different strokes and techniques. The tabla player can also improvise and interact with other musicians by using signals and cues. Another instrument for playing Taal is the pakhavaj, which is a barrel-shaped drum that produces deeper and louder sounds than the tabla. The pakhavaj is usually used for accompanying dhrupad music, which is one of the oldest forms of Indian classical music. Besides these instruments, there are also other ways to play Taal, such as using hand cymbals called manjeera or kartal, using bells or gongs called ghanta or ghatam, using clapping or snapping fingers called telai or khali, or using vocal syllables called bols or padhant. These vocal syllables are used to represent the sounds of different strokes on the tabla or pakhavaj. For example, ta means a sharp sound on the right drum, dha means a combination of ta and ga, a soft sound on the left drum, tin means a soft sound on the right drum, and na means a sharp sound on the edge of the right drum. These syllables are used to memorize and recite the patterns of Taal. They are also used to communicate and coordinate with other musicians. For example, A tabla player can announce the name of a taal or a variation by saying it aloud before playing it. A vocalist can also use these syllables to sing along with the taal or to create rhythmic melodies. One of the most interesting aspects of taal is that it can be modified and manipulated in various ways to create different effects and expressions. For example, a taal can be played faster or slower to change the tempo and energy of the music. A taal can also be played with different accents or stresses to change the emphasis and flow of the beats. A taal can also be divided or multiplied to change the proportion and complexity of the cycle. For example, a 16-beat taal can be divided into 4 groups of 4 beats each, or 2 groups of 8 beats each, or 8 groups of 2 beats each. Similarly, a 16-beat taal can also be multiplied by 2 to create a 32-beat taal, or by 4 to create a 64-beat taal. Another way to modify and manipulate taal is to use various techniques and devices that add variety and creativity to the rhythmic patterns. Some of these techniques and devices are: tihai. A tihai is a rhythmic phrase that is repeated 3 times in succession and ends on the same point. A tihai can be used to mark the end of a section or a piece of music.
For example, if we take a phrase like ta ten den ta ten den ta and repeat it 3 times, we get a tihai like this: ta ten den 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 ta. Sam.
Chakradhar. A chakradhar is a type of tihai that is composed of 3 identical tihais. A chakradhar can be used to create a dramatic effect or a climax in the music. For example, if we take a tihai like dhat rekit e rekita ta rekit e rekita and repeat it 3 times, we get a chakradhar like this: dhat rekit e rekita ta rekit e rekita, dhat rekit e rekita ta rekit e rekita, dhat rekit e rekita ta rekit e rekita. Sam. Palta. A palta is a variation or an ornamentation of a basic pattern or theme. A palta can be used to add embellishment and decoration to the music. For example, if we take a basic pattern like dhage na tina ge dhina and add some extra strokes or syllables to it, we get a palta like this: dhage na tina ge dhina. Rela. A rela is a fast and continuous flow of strokes or syllables that creates a rolling effect in the music. A rela can be used to increase the speed and excitement of the music. For example, if we take a basic pattern like dhag na ji 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 and play it very fast, we get a rela like this: dhagena 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 dhagena. These are just some of the examples of how taal can be modified and manipulated in various ways to create different effects and expressions in Indian music. There are many more techniques and devices that can be used to play with taal and make it more fun and interesting. So, this was a brief introduction to taal, one of the most important concepts in Indian music. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about taal. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos on Hindustani classical music. Also, don't forget to comment below and let us know what you think about taal and what other topics you would like us to cover in the future. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.